talk about the ESEA thing now. Like, I don't get the
All right,
outrage over it at all. It doesn't make sense.
Reddit's the dumbest people.
FaceIt allowed people to have their own hubs early on, like only the pros, and they were they were making money off their hubs. So it's almost like a way that FaceIt's paying their players.
Of a shoe deal. It reminds me of a shoe deal. It's literally the same. Like,
and the NDA thing, like you sign an NDA every time you do anything nowadays. So it's like maybe they wanted the NDA to where you can disclose that you're paid, but you can't disclose like exacts of the contract, which is normal. Like right now, the FaceIt hub. Do you guys know how much everyone makes on the FaceIt hub? Exactly what the split is with FaceIt? I'm sure FaceIt doesn't tell everyone like actively. I know what it is because they offered me the hub a while back, but it's like a 50-50 split literally between some can negotiate a better deal, but that's it. And you can get your own sponsors for your hub. You pretty much can start your own league in FaceIt.
To me, honestly, I know this isn't really relevant to like the actual like thing, but like to me, it seems like a lot of the public hate towards ESEA. Yeah, I did some fucking shit before. It's just that like first of all, the culture was always even by America perpetuated as like fuck NACS, lol, whatever.
Does anyone know what this X-Format guy is saying?
Obviously, like started on FaceIt, or like we're way more focused on FaceIt. So now all of Reddit is just like, yeah, bro, FaceIt's really better. And then when every time like ESEA
and then FaceIt does this like goofy, stupid PR shit where they like tweet something out and everyone's like, oh, FaceIt's insane. Look at them, they're tweeting. It's like it's one fucking dude in FaceIt. I like them both too, but I'm saying FaceIt's like PR team is literally like one guy probably tweeting hella fucking jacking off to himself, like, oh my god, like he's overdoing it. I think like every time he fucking types something, it's like they try to be like funny and shit.
Yeah, and they're not funny, first of all.
And realistically, like also, I said this before, I'll say it again. The ESA client is far better than the FaceIt.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
When I'm on FaceIt, I literally don't know where the fuck I am, dog. Like I double clicked something on FaceIt once, it took me to RuneScape. Like I was in game RuneScape, never installed the game. How's that possible?
That's a good anti-cheat right there. I don't know, dude. Like I don't know like the semantics of the shit, but I'll tell you this, bro. When there was no bread in the fucking game forever, in NA, ESEA kept us the fuck afloat. Alright, and like you would just think there'd be like a fraction of loyalty, but I get it. Like most of these people hadn't even been
I'm not trying to say, but I don't know if you're saying anything bad. I just don't think it's a big deal,
bro. Like what the fuck? If you're like
if you're saying anything
pro,
good,
16, 17, 18,
you're
15, 19,
like
whatever,
this, I'm gonna give you
on that age group, you can set yourself up
24-hour
a month. If you're not stupid,
and you could go to Google Translate and translate what you're trying to say.
Maybe a car, phone, whatever, food, but like, dude, that's what 24K a year just for hugging on ESEA with a better client.
Dude, anyway,
what the fuck's the problem?
If anything, it's fucking good for the.
Yeah, bro. Like that's
I know you're probably.
Like everybody was so down to fucking jump on. I
don't know why you assumed I spoke Turkish. I'm not Turkish.
ESEA was like fucking kicking ass, right? And vice versa. Like when FaceIt came out with the new FPL and they've been owning, and then like whenever they're like, this is great.
I don't know if you were saying anything bad. I just
now all of a sudden this is some like shady thing because people are signing NDAs and some dick fuck from League of Legends subreddit that can't know the semantics of a contract. It has nothing to fucking do with those people. Why do you guys care? It's not your business.
And it really does help out the people that don't have the salaries coming in. Like,
bro, you know how bad I would want that right now, or I would have wanted it, bro. I haven't had a salary for a year and a half, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's good money, bro. I don't care if you make fucking $1 million a year, $2K a month just for plugging on one service.
I mean, honestly, like I said if they offered it to me, I would have said yes. Because why not? Like I play on the thing anyway. FPLC is like a debt. Like I'm really disappointed. Like, and this is probably why my bias is a little more towards ESEA right now. Is I didn't even get a chance to be an FPL for no reason. They gave Ocean, they gave all these people. Not that Ocean was bad or anything, but like they gave all these other people like opportunities to be even like managers of teams before, dude. They fucking gave James IRL a fucking I think James is good enough.
James is that better than most of the people.
Dude, I think James is good enough to be an FPL. I don't know if he's still in it right now, but I know he's good enough to be an FPL because he was good enough to be in Ranked S. I have no problem. I'm just saying. Their excuse was I'm not on a team and blah blah blah, and I'm not looking to be on a team. But then like the managers of teams get to actively play with like aspiring pros. It doesn't make sense to me.
Do you want to know what I really think it is? Because this could be some tinfoil hat shit, bro. It's like this, man. Listen, these FaceIt guys got some deals with the up top promoters for FPL, dude. If there's any type of competition or anything that doesn't be conducive to good content, I'm not saying Terra because that's his word content. I'm just saying in general with FPL, all right, they don't want them fucking around. Here's the thing, bro. What the fuck is the difference in the quality of gameplay if Moe and James and a couple other people are in there, like some of the rank S guys like Hunter and Black Ice.
And that's why I don't have a lot of respect for the admins of FPL because they think they're so obsessed with the idea of finding the next great 15-year-old that they don't care what they do to anyone else. They're literally like...
Hold on, pause. The great 15-year-old, bro.
Yeah, like ropes. Like all they talk... I know all they talk about is how, like, look at us. We're the reason people like ropes and watch it, and all these young stars are on pro teams now. And I'm like, well, you're not really the sole reason. Look at Stewie. ESEA has the same thing. Tarek, Stewie, all these young guys who went through the system of ESEA and are on... You could argue that the ESEA players had more success than the FPL players. Well, probably not.
I would be interested to see... You can still have public threads just like it is now. I know, obviously this isn't a thing because of people's career. I would be interested to see how people's stance on a lot of things in both of these environments would change if streaming wasn't allowed. I'm telling you right now, it's the biggest fucking crock of shit ever.
I think so too. If they don't allow streaming, well, first off, it would never make sense for them because then they lose money by not allowing streaming because they want people to see their system.
No. I'm not saying do that. What I'm saying is if shit was like off camera and shit and people...
No one would play either, pretty much.
Shit, guys, listen, you see the same shit we do. You see the same shit, bro. Like, this NBA shit, like... You sign an NDA if you fucking take a piss in a fucking team house, bro. Like,
and it's like as soon as anything happens with ESEA, it's instantly like, oh, you're defending they mined our Bitcoin or they mined our computers. Like, fuck it, yeah, they did it. They're idiots. They fucking paid for it. Bro, they didn't get away with it or anything. They paid for it. Like people that commit crimes, they pay for them. They don't just fucking. It doesn't mean that forever you have to use that exact thing. And then they double charge people. Well, dude, I guarantee you, if you got double charged. This was a problem in their system, and they refund you. Like, there's no way they're gonna justify double charging you, because they will lose every time to any bank, anywhere. PayPal will fucking dispute against anyone. So like, all you have to do is dispute it. They didn't actively go like, you know what? We're not making money this month. Let's double charge everyone. They won't notice. They didn't do that. The BSE makes millions of dollars, bro. Like it makes millions a year at least. Like I'm talking about like. Maybe $10 million a year, like easy, with sponsors, with everything, with deals, all this shit. Their streaming deals with everyone. Like they make a lot of money. ESA sold for 40 or 50 million like 2 or 3 years ago. So they got money. They're like the people running it are multi-billionaires.
The non-ESL part, like the non-ESL people that came over and like integrated with ESA or whatever. Bro,
nothing to do, but no. Stewie came from literally rank S. Before rank S, he was just a pud guy that played puds nonstop. I saw him in finals, bro. Oh, you know how we do he's just a complete ESA pudder from the beginning. Yeah, he was nuts. But I'm saying like, there's no benefit to that you get from coming from.
No, you're right.
FPL than that. Like they're both the same. I think they're both the great services, but they're exactly the same with the exception of ESA has a better client and has a better probably better and better anti-cheat. And you got to understand in over here in America, it was #1 for so long. Like it didn't even. I did it in Europe. FPL was huge, and it deserves its European. I feel like. FaceIt's the ESEA of Europe. But what did FaceIt do that's like life-changing? They literally took what ESEA was doing and did it themselves. That's all. They copy-pasted pretty much and did their own little twist on it, but they literally copied the service that ESEA provided. So ESEA is like the OG. They did so much for fucking CS.
When there was no bread in this fucking game, bro. People have no idea, man. When grand finals and shit was like 100 fucking viewers, bro. People were playing for pennies. They
made us, they had LANs, like big, like the ESA LANs were a big deal. Like they were the first fucking one to say, like, fuck it, we're gonna take people to our LANs. We're gonna have our finals at LAN.
Bro, Craig is literally like.
And that's why it's not ran anymore. No, and that's why it's not ran the great anymore because Craig really did know how to run it. Yeah. But Craig lost. But when he made like a nice 20-30 million, he's like, fuck it, like, I don't need to like break my back anymore. I made my money.
Well, it's not. I don't even think there's bad personnel working for ESA. If we're gonna go like,
look at this idiot. No shit, ESA has money. They mine some sweet BTC. Oh my god, he's probably lulling. Bro, he is lulling, literally.
Bro, is that guy above 18?
It doesn't. I tanked 27. Mo, I honestly don't think you're good enough these days to play FPL. You're just a scrub. I remember Bover's enemies. They were the days, but. I just want you to know that might be true. I'm not going to be as skilled as the best player in FPL, but I guarantee you I'm not like a liability in FPL. Like I'm not a reason like that. I'm not going to sit there and lose for the team constantly over and over and not improve. In FPL, when I play bad, I change what I'm doing. I fucking adapt. I buy guns for the better players. I fucking buy a match 7, get in a spot, get 2 or 3 kills. Like I know how to adapt when my shots aren't hitting, and I feel like that shows a big part of playing with the pros. Because if you're always gonna play,
I don't agree, dude. Because I agree with you, but on a different note, bro. Being the best FPL player doesn't mean you're the best player. In fact, it has very little to no like translation in like actual matches and shit. No.
100%, 100%. It's completely different. It's completely different.
The system, what kids are shooting for now, isn't to win a division. It's to fucking be the best pugger.
Exactly. It's stupid.
The best pugger, the one that plays the most.
It's breeding. That's true. It's breeding binge playing. First off, it's unhealthy. You have to play 16 hours a day of CS to like make FPL or ESEA, not just either or. They're both just as bad as each other on that. If you're someone new, and what you learn isn't really a team play. You learn how to be the best player on your team constantly and find ways to like win. Like, dude, you should see FPLC. Like my first days playing with it, these guys like dodge maps because they think the other team is like, oh, these guys it's like they only play like 2 maps. Oh, it's so boring, and it's the same shit, and it's like they have these crazy egos. It for no reason. It's like. Because it's PUD. The PUD environment has made them think it's okay to be that way.
Because they never hopped in a match server when it actually mattered and had their heart beating in a fucking match. They're sitting there having a dot stats bind, thinking like, oh, I gotta have more stats and fucking win more games than everybody else.
And the pros that are pros, the good pros, just so you guys understand, the good pros don't use FPL. Like when they do FPL or ESA, when they play it, they're not using that to improve. They're literally trying to have fun. That's it. They're just trying to fuck around with their friends. If they want to improve, they guess what? They do that during practice with their fucking team. You know what I mean? The only thing that you could maybe get from FPL or ESEA is how to anchor a site by yourself if someone's rushing you. That's like maybe you'll have situations where you get rushed and you're able to kill 2 or 3. That would be like a real life situation. It does.
And it's like this, right? Remember when people would say, oh, Skadoodle isn't playing enough, bro. He needs to be playing fucking rank S and FPL and shit.
And that's, you know why? Because that's what Stewie made people think is okay, because Stewie was so nuts.
But Stewie breaks the rules. He is an exception.
Yo, but Stewie literally is a guy that just loves to play nonstop, and he gets better and better. And Stewie knows how to distinguish between match play and PUD play. In a match.
Yeah, no kidding. And the thing is guess what? He also had a lot of help quickly in that early development Money 10-man stage from really good players in days, bro. Remember what the days in Stewie combo, bro? It was all fucking day, 12 hours a fucking day, bro. Just like giggling and shit. And Days would sit there and message him for hours on Steam, like that nobody saw, bro. Getting him fucking good, bro. People say, oh, Days sucks. Days is a fucking genius when it comes to this fucking CS in terms of mentality and approach to a round and making the right decision. Right? That's what it is. Stewie only needs to see the right decision one time. And to keep it a stack with you, these puggers and shit, even the best 0.001%
I know it's Blackstreet guys, but
of them,
I don't have anything on my screen with them. Just like
it might be something similar, but not like Stewie and that quickly and everything, bro. It's a pipe dream, and they're selling it to you. And just because we want to get a little bit of cash back on it, maybe I didn't get offered it, but if I were to, am I a piece of shit?
If I get offered it, I'll publicly say I'm taking it. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't make sense.
It's like chicken right now.
You know what's funny is like they had something like this before for like people like. Nothing, and early on they were paying them. Yeah, that was on the low, and no one said anything. So what? That's fine. ESEA owes me like affiliate money right now too, and it's not that they haven't paid me. I just haven't like sent in my information and did it. You know what I mean? But I hate how as soon as anything comes out about ESEA, even if it's not bad, it instantly turns into bad, and it's all because of these stupid fucking Reddit followers that follow any drama that they think is drama. It's pathetic. Hold on, I'm looking at this Tim clip. 1 sec.
You guys, I don't know if any of you guys go to school, but when I used to go to school, I used to really look forward to coming home and playing CS. That was like what I was always looking forward to. Right now, CS is like school. Where like, you know, I go there, it's all right. It just feels like school. You know what I mean? Like it feels like I have to do it. But then when I'm done with CS, and I get to play Fortnite, Fortnite's like what CS used to be to me, and CS is like what school used to be to me. Oh.
Well, it makes sense. Did you see that clip with Tim?
Yeah.
The motivation? It makes sense, dude. Honestly, like first off, you won a major. You did everything you're supposed to do in this game. It's really hard to kind of want to stay on top if you don't have that drive. You know what I mean?
It's not even that, bro. Your teammate leaves. Live our life a little now.
Yeah. Your teammate leaves right after the major. It's like you finally figure out the 5 that won the major. That's it. We made history. We're the first team to win it. And that shit happens to you, right? It's
that would have happened regardless of
you lose motivation.
It's all contracts and transactions and shit, bro. Like half the players, like they have say obviously or whatever, but like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, once you hit ESL Pro League, bro, or EPL or anything like that, bro, the fucking orgs own all that shit, bro. They have the rights to your fucking entire life, dog. They can pick the roster if they want to. And honestly, if you win a major and finally shut everybody up for 2 seconds, right, and have an insane experience and get a bunch of money and status, bro, you're gonna fucking live your life a little bit, bro. You know what I mean? And guess what? To be the best, there is no living your life in this game. You think about it, you're gonna not be the best.
I remember like when and people keep saying like, why are you comparing Source to CS:GO? It was nowhere as big. I understand that it wasn't as big as Go, and not even at its biggest, but Source had a very competitive scene at its height, and it was just as competitive. Obviously, there wasn't like as many teams, but the people that played no-lifed the game. Like we all no-lifed it. So in Source, I remember like all my days consisted of CS. Like I never went a day without playing CS. I loved to play it nonstop. As soon as practice was over, I'd go PUD with my. I used to like CS so much that on days we didn't have practice, I would change my name on IRC, because back then there wasn't, none of this was here. It was all IRC. There wasn't Twitter. No one used any of that shit. I remember I would change my name on IRC and I would go to tryout channels and try out for random teams. And my favorite thing to do would be like I would play. I would dominate in the Source game, and then they would ask me to join the team, and I'd say, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow for practice, and never show up again. And they had no idea who I was.
That's your boy. That's your boy, dog.
There was no way, and sometimes I'd have to change my name because people were starting to get to know what my voice sounds like. Now I can't go into a server without someone recognizing my voice.
I don't know, bro. It's just the culture, bro. Nobody like wants to be the best for the right reasons anymore. Nobody wants to like hit tab and like look at their squad and be like, wow. Me and my friends or whatever, like,
dude, like, okay, so that Mirage game that we just played, right? Like, I had like almost 30 kills like in the very first half or whatever. I dominated. Yep. You know what my favorite round there was when the whole team got a kill instantly with like 3 kills.
Yep.
That made me more excited than my entire half.
That's when you guess what, Mo? That's when you know in this game it's over, dude. The second you don't want to fucking hold, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, be like these kids, dude. Seriously, that's what I realized, dude.
Like, I was more excited about the fact that our team got 3 entries at once. More like that was like I was so happy that how it worked out that it was like fuck what, like I could have been 0-12, and I would have been like, okay, I'm happy. Like that made it worth the whole game.
And the culture that is being bred to these little kids and shit that is
kills,
dude,
and play more and play
12, bro. Listen, dude.
Oh, you lost. You're done.
You were done.
My biggest problem is how are they going to find the next big IGL, the next support player? You know, these important support players
of a new unit.
Exactly.
For years.
Like how are new IGLs going to get a chance to show what they got if they're going to probably be statistically not as good as their best 2 players on the team, but their IGLing is up there, could be as good as Fallen's. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing, right? And this is just looking at NA and a microcosm. I can't speak on Europe like that. But now, so there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like fucking 6 divisions in ESEA. So, dude, you want to get to pro with your team, the team way, right? Like the old school, the way.
Oh my god,
right?
It takes forever.
2 years, 2.5 years minimum if you win every season.
Not even that, too, dude. Like, hold up, baby.
That's just that bothers me. No one wants to be the best team. Everyone wants to just be the best plugger.
One of the bigger issues too is like, and you mentioned this too. It's just like, let's say you're a team and you're starting to dominate, and you're a perfect team. You have the best IGL. You have 2 crazy players support. It's the perfect team. By the time you make it to like Premier or MDL, a pro team is already taking your 2 best players away from you, and that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And any player, no matter how much they love their team, and this happened specifically with your old team, if you remember, with the Denial guys early on when you guys dominated. Like, as soon as like shit went down, like they were like, fuck, we got these offers, like we couldn't stick it out one more season because you guys got paid, remember? But then that killed your team. Who knows if that team could have been a top 3, top 4 NA.
At that time.
Top
5 NA at that time.
So,
I put it on my grade.
And that could have been like the start of like a super team, but of you guys like together and winning together and improving. Me, when I played Source, I didn't switch teams like that. My core was the same core for 5 years, bro. We were like Virtus Pro. Like we kept getting better and better together, and we just dominated. That's all it was about. When we made a change, it might have been like one guy, but that was it.
Isn't it crazy too how like you see on Reddit where it's like there'll be like, I remember there was a point where it's like a trend for like 2 weeks where like at least 2 posts were like, yo, this is the 5th longest standing roster in CS:GO history. It's like, bro, what? This was the standard. If you were a team hopper back fucking now it's
like,
damn, this guy's moving up.
Yeah, now you team hop, like it's like everyone's excited, everyone's like, oh hell yeah, like new Ross. You know why? Because people get tired of watching the same shit. Like when Fnatic was dominating everyone, people got tired of them. I loved it.
Not me, I still.
When the old Fnatic was dominating, I wanted to watch them dominate as long as possible. That shit's exciting to me. When a team is now, it's like one bad tournament, they're like, okay, we got to make a change. Rumors start swirling around. That player on the team that's gonna get replaced starts playing even worse because he thinks he's gonna get replaced.
Yep.
It's crazy, dude.
Dude, you're like breaking my heart right now. It's so real. It's so real.
And I'll tell you something. The best advice I could give someone right now that's literally new and you're good at like games and you want to go pro at a sport, like esport or something, play Fortnite. Go pro at Fortnite. Like CS is like, by the time you get good enough to be a pro at CS, it's gonna be gone. It's not gonna be as big. The money isn't gonna be there. Everything's moving. Fortnite, they fucking announced $100 million, bro. That means orgs are gonna spend millions and millions of dollars to keep a happy roster going.